So transphobic content has been removed from the GTA 5 remasters. A game which was built around controversy has now removed the controversy.
I think. Well, you keep talking.
I was saying, I was just in my head when I was reading through the article, and I think I kind of stopped reading through it because I just thought a game, well, Rockstar, who have released Grand Theft Auto as a series, stopped releasing Grand Theft Autos, but keep re-releasing it, but now with less content. So they're actually not bringing out more stuff; they're bringing out less stuff. in the
Yeah, and I think this is an issue because Grand Theft Autos has always been like a game that you just expect them to be mocking modern culture with,
yeah,
and for them to take something like that out, I just think, is it really Grand Theft Auto anymore? Because you play Grand Theft Auto, and it's not seriously taking the mick out of transgender people or any part of American or Western culture. It's mocking them in a light-hearted way, and you play the game expecting that, and that's what gives the game its charm.
yeah.
And if they're going to start censoring the game in that fashion, like, I just feel like, what's the future of the game going to be when GTA 6 comes out? Is it just going to be?
Well,
Is it going to have the same charm as the previous games had?
Yeah, what is GTA 6 even going to be? Like, going to be left with? And then it's just going to be a game with not. That was the fun side of it. The way they took the piss out of society and culture. That was obviously you get the killing side, but every game does that. You kill people in every game. You have guns. You race around. Everyone does that. But the beauty of the stories that gets you so immersed is that they are real. They're talking about real life experiences, and it's humorous. They're picking out the funny side of it. That's all going bit by bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like with GTA 5, it had a good balance of the story, which was very good. So they didn't bring online out when GTA 5 released. They brought out the story, and then they would have phased in the multiplayer. So you could have played the campaign, taking your time with that, not having to worry about, becoming ready for the online. Finish the story, which was, by the way, great story at the time, great graphics, great cinematography. All of it just came together to be that game. I'm not too sure if it got Game of the Year that year, but I think it was the same year as Last of Us or another game like that. I think that might have won it. Look at that in a second. But anyway, but then Online came out, and that was a perfect balance because they nailed the campaign and the multiplayer. But over the years with GTA Online, if you have played it, just to give a bit of context, it's driven by a lot of microtransactions, a lot of kids borrowing their parents' credit cards to buy, shark cards, to buy the latest cards and stuff. So it's just gone downhill from there. I feel like since Red Dead 2, another great game by Rockstar, I feel like the studio's gone downhill in a way.
Well, that guy's last masterpiece, weren't it? Red Dead Redemption 2. I forgot his name.
Arthur Morgan. I completed that in...
Oh, the guy that worked at Rockstar. The guy...
One of the brothers, wasn't he? That left.
Was it Dan? Dan Bowser.
Hauser.
Dan Hauser. He left.
I don't know whether it's Dan that left or... I can't remember the other guy's name.
There were three of them that started it. One of them left a bit back, and then the writer left after Red Dead 2.
I think going back to this article and what Jane said is this article is showing where Rockstar's focus is now, because they want to appeal to a mass audience, and if they have controversial pieces in like this that gave its charm to the game originally, people won't buy the game anymore, and there'll be outrage, and the game will get cancelled on social media, and people will boycott it. So Rockstar's main focus now is obviously
appeal to the masses,
and get the money in.
So that kind of shows then how society back in the day, because obviously they were so appealing at the time because of the controversy.
Yeah,
but they had massive lawsuits and everything because of how controversial it was, especially with, I think, Grand Theft Auto 3 and the time that came out. So that's just showing how society's progressed from being okay and acceptance and wanting controversy to being against it.
Yeah, massive. There's a massive shift since like when GTA 5 came out. which
Yeah.
was 8 years ago.
2013 was it?
Bloody hell, almost 10 years ago.
Long time. We're a lot older. Cancel culture since then become a lot more prominent. I guess social media's been a driver of that too, sadly.
But with Rockstar and GTA 6, obviously as a gamer I've been outraged as anyone that it's not been released. But I think there was a tipping point for me where I was excited for it, annoyed about it because they're not releasing it. Then the shark cards stuff got a bit overwhelming. So then you start getting a little bit more annoyed with Rockstar. And then they just keep milking it and milking it and milking it, getting you more and more annoyed. And then I think when they did the first lot of remasters for the old games, the old trilogy, they removed some content from them. I forget which game they removed content from. I think it was Vice City. And then that sort of, and then I bought the trilogy and so they already took content out of it, sold it for a very extortionate amount of money, and the game was broken, but they just pushed it out there to get sales. That was my tipping point, a long built up tipping point, and now I'm not even bothered. I'm not even excited for GTA 6. This type of stuff just makes me not excited for the game anymore.
No, I agree with you. I think the tipping point that you're talking about is where when GTA Online started, it was more grindy and less microtransactions to get money. But now the economy is so broken, and like to get the top card, you need to spend a lot of money. Where now, like you kind of have to get more microtransactions than grinding. So you can't really grind for that money anymore. You need to get the shark cards to be able to fund that lifestyle that you want on GTA Online.
Yeah, that's true.
And we didn't grind when we first played.
No, we didn't.
I mean, it was broken the first few. Do you remember when you first played GTA Online and you were just stuck in the clouds? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
First phase.
And you could change your DNS server and you shoot someone, and you just pick up loads of money off them.
The money glitch.
You shoot someone and you get like millions of GTA currency.
So that's what we did, and we bought the best of Skyrise apartment.
We had everything at the beginning. But then I swear, even if we had the same amount of money now, we wouldn't be able to afford much with the way it is.
No, I've not played for about 5-6 years GTA Online, but I've heard about it, and it's got a bit like people have like war airplanes and stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
Like what are they called? Don't know what they're called, but so as soon as you log on, like
it's pay to win. So if you don't put the money in, you can't fight with these guys because they have.
Yeah, so you can't compete on a fair level.
Not at all.
There's all the aircraft vehicles, all the armored vehicles and stuff, and you need a lot of money. Well, you don't need that much to get the actual base vehicle, but it's like the base that you need to compete with people. It's all the upgrades or the turrets or the guns. And then in warfare, you just get shot from the sky and you can't do anything on the ground. And that's just how much it's changed.
But that one of the ex guys from Rockstar, he's released a new game, right? Called Everywhere. Is it?
Oh yeah, it was Dan Houser that left.
Dan Houser was the one that left. He's not the one doing Everywhere though, is he? He's doing something else, I think.
Did you say Everywhere is a game where you can just play as anything you want? So you could be like a bus driver or...
I think it's going to be like the GTA RP, the role playing on GTA.
Yeah, and that's what modders love. They love playing that stuff.
That's what he's seen, hasn't he? The guy who's decided to go with that game.
Yeah, he's seen there's a market there, and he's gone away and made it.
Build a Rocket Boy. That's the developing company.
So what I believe will be the new roleplay. The roleplay's been increasing a lot. I feel like because of the divide from GTA Online and the tipping point that you mentioned, the GTRP servers, so people found another way to kind of turn multiplayer into another experience where it's not driven just by microtransactions, and the roleplay is becoming a lot more prominent. So I feel this game will be good and similar to roleplay, I hope.
I mean, a good way these guys can make money is if they don't do microtransactions, because it's just getting a bit...
Everyone's doing it now. So.
Yeah, but they've not ruined it. They've not made it nice, or FIFA especially. But if they just do like a subscription, so you subscribe to the game. I know World of Warcraft do it for £10 and a lot of people pay for that. But if everywhere want to go for a bigger audience and just drop the price a bit, I wouldn't mind if it's a game I'm going to play quite often in a month, paying a couple of pound a month for it to be a well-developed and maintained game.
Yeah, rather than just having to buy microtransactions all the time.
Yeah, because I'd rather just subscribe and play the game. Or
Yeah.
maybe developers will go down that route, because as it goes into cloud gaming as well, you could subscribe, and then because you're a subscription, they'll get paid monthly from your subscription.
Yeah. You could
That's a
probably,
good
I can
point.
see it going down that route.
GTA.
Maybe not GTA. I think GTA is too far down the line, unless people start sort of boycotting Rockstar because of all the microtransactions.
Mm.
Then they might change the business model. But at the moment, I think it's still quite a popular game, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it is still up there in like the top 3 most played games at any given moment.
Mm.
I don't know what.
So there's no real like rush for them to bring out GTA 6 or change their business model.
No.
They've hit the jackpot.
Yeah, and they're just marketing now. It's the game's changing over, but they market the game towards everyone under 18.
Yeah.
It's mostly kids now, isn't it? And
Yeah.
that's the other thing, is that they're more likely to get more microtransactions because they have a lot more time. And I guess tailoring the marketing towards them means that they're going to get more money in a way. But then the other thing is, with competition with developers now, there's been developers coming in, like smaller developers, just waiting to jump on the hype train, and they've made better games. And maybe there's a Rockstar competitor just waiting to take that market share, make a banging game, and become the new Rockstar.
Yeah, I've heard this as well. That indie games are on the rise, and I think it was when we were talking about it, was Dan Houser who left recently, and because it was Leslie who left first and started Build a Rocket Boy, and then started everywhere. But it was Dan who left, and instead of setting something else up, he invests in like indie game developers or indie game studios.
That's the thing, yeah.
Because he obviously spotted they're on the rise, and so he now invests into them companies. So he's got a good vision, and he was the writer of these big games. So imagine him going to invest in and having a big share in some of these indie games. They'll be massive, and it needs that. I think the gaming industry needs that, because games have gone they're boring now, a lot of them.
Yeah, and then just to touch on your Dan Houser point, do you think he's invested into smaller indie games companies like you mentioned, because maybe he's faced an experience in the past where no matter how good your plans or whatever plans you have for a game, if you don't have the funding or the investment, you just can't make that game. So do you think he's had like sort of an experience in the past where he's learned from that, and now he's like, smaller companies do need investing in?
I don't know. I don't know what his thought process would be behind it. I know he's obviously got a lot of money.
Yeah.
But he's obviously putting it to good use, and he's supporting these guys, and these are the creative people, aren't they, that are building these games? Look at Valheim. Was that built by like 2 or 3 people or 5 people?
A small developer studio, the one that never really heard of, and that took off quite quickly.
So yeah, he's obviously just showing support out to these, because they're more creative minds. I think Rockstar's losing their creativity completely.
I think like when you have smaller developers, they're more passionate about what they're working on.
Yeah.
Whereas when you got bigger developers, they just want to churn out games. Like COD comes out every year. It's the same old crap.
FIFA comes out every year.
FIFA comes out every year, same old crap. But these indie developers, they've actually come up with an idea that they're passionate about, and you want to make sure it's the best, the best that they can do.